One of the biggest struggles of growing up poor is that the things you want oftentimes have to be pushed aside for the things that you need. And when you were a gamer back in the day, the things you wanted got pushed aside all the time. And, you understand that as a kid, but it doesn't make it any easier. And if you don't want to resort to theft or sucking dick for video games, you got to be pretty creative. Now, when I was about 8 years old, I had a neighbor, and his nickname was Spanky. I'm not going to go into his real name, because Spanky was into the underground trade of illicit substances, if you catch my drift. And he, therefore, had expendable income, and he had video games, and he would let me borrow them. And he was like in his 20s or whatever, and I was like 8 or 9 years old, and so I never thought about it. I never thought about the fact that this guy was doing something wrong or that was strange, right? But he let me borrow 007 Goldeneye, and I fell in love with that game. Absolutely adored it. And I played it for a while, and I gave it back to him, and then like months go by, and I'm like itching to play it again. And so I go and I ask him, hey, can I borrow 007 Goldeneye? And he's like, hey man, you want to keep that game? Because boy, have I got a deal for you. And I was like, hell yeah, does the Pope shit in the woods? And he's like, yeah, of course he does. And so I'm like, all right, so what do I got to do to get to keep this game? And he's like, oh, all I need you to do is take this Gatorade bottle and pee in it. And I was like, what an idiot. Okay, deal. This guy's getting ripped off. About to screw this dude over. And so I did it. Took the Gatorade bottle. I walked around the other side of the house and I filled it up. And I brought it back to him. And guess what I got? I've still got it right here. This, my original copy of 007 Goldeneye that I got in exchange for one small Gatorade bottle of piss. And I didn't realize when I was a little kid, that like I was doing this to help a guy, pass a drug test. And it wasn't until the next day at school when I'm like on the bus I guess it wasn't at school, it was on the bus with another kid who grew up like 2 houses up from me, and his life was rough, and he grew up to show that his life was rough too. But he knew some shit, man. He had seen some things that I had been sheltered from. And so I'm like, dude, check this out. I got 007 Goldeneye, and all I had to do was piss in a bottle for the fucking weirdo on the other side. And I just thought that, like, this guy's got a thing for pee. What a freak. But free video game, hell yeah. And then the other kid's like, no, dude, he obviously like is on probation or something and needs to pass a UA, and I didn't know what a UA was, but a drug test. And so he traded me a video game to pee in a bottle so he could sneak it in and pass his UA with it. And so that was how I came about my copy of 007 Goldeneye that I still have and love and still play and have 100%ed on this very cartridge. And I still have no regrets. I realize that it wasn't okay. I didn't at the time. And I also don't think I'd go back and stop myself, because the memories that I have with this game growing up playing it with my brother and stuff. So, it's tough is what I'm trying to say. When you want something and you can't have it because it's not a need. And so you have to come up with something. So I guess the moral of the story is, if you're broke and you want to play video games and you know anybody that does drugs, no, just kidding. Don't be trading pee for video games. It's not a good idea, but it is a funny story. And so I thought I would share it here today just because, why not? I didn't have time to finish the long video I've been working on, but I got to get something out, right? So here we go. I figure maybe these just chatting videos might do okay with my core audience. So why not? Now, if you would like to watch other videos of me remembering the best parts of some of my favorite games, or you want to see me maybe complain about certain parts of very popular games, or anything like that, then check out this video. And if you like that, subscribe to the channel. And if you do that, you're awesome, and thank you.